Welcome to another Monday video where we buy the dips and sell the rips, ready for that 10x or that 5x or 4x. Just as long as we get X's, that's what counts. But today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of coins that have gotten some really beautiful dips. And in addition to that, some newer coins that we really want to lock in and pay attention to. Some that caught us by surprise, some that are actually doing pretty amazing. So let's dive right into it, guys. And remember, all these calls will be available for you guys a little bit earlier if you are on our Discord server. So if you're not tuned into our Discord server or not part of the Boltz Alpha, now is the time to get in and lock in because Q4 is about to get crazy. Don't forget, guys, every Tuesday and Thursday we stream and give you guys a nice little 10x, 5x, 4x live on stream. So make sure you guys stop by and hang out. All right, let's talk about the first one, guys. And this one, I want to know if anybody in the that's watching the video actually bought this coin and at what market cap did you buy it. This caught a lot of people off guard. It didn't catch us off guard, but it caught a lot of people off guard. And right now it is at 100 mil. Yes, guys, at 100 mil. So right now this is where the market maker kind of stops doing its thing. We look for a nice, beautiful dip. It kind of tested this 121. So we want to know exactly what is a good time to enter here. This is still completely undervalued in the sense of what the coin is trying to achieve. It's basically just think about like a collector coin that allows you to invest on pretty much physical cards like baseball cards, Pokemon cards, and you're able to get a certain piece of that card and hold it. So pretty crazy tech. If you like trading cards and you know about card trading, this is going to be pretty solid as we move forward throughout the year. And I still think this has some really nice potentials of maybe giving you a nice 3 to 4x depending on where the dip is. So what are we looking as far as dips? So we're going to be looking at concentrating primarily on two major dips. Okay, number one, we're going to be concentrating at this 100k dip. Ideally, this would be a nice little entry to kind of just start getting a position in here. So it comes down to 100 and we get a nice bounce and it kind of pushes up over to 200, 300, possibly 400, giving us a nice 4x. But ideally, the dip I really wish we get is this 80 dip, guys. This 80 dip is kind of like where it's going to make me extremely bullish on this coin. Now, there might be an additional dip apart from that one, but I highly doubt we touch it, we come back down to it. But there's still that possibility we get this crazy dip right here of this 50 to 60 mil. I doubt this coin comes down here. I think the lowest it will come is maybe 80 to like that, 70 range around there. That would be the golden pocket if I'm looking to play. I'm trying to cut your lines because it's super important that you keep in mind, depending on what market maker is behind this coin and how bullish the community is on this coin, it depends on the dip. So it's very hard for me to tell you guys this is exactly where it's going to land. It's a fairly new coin, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But this is what I would do. So ideally, I love to buy bottoms because that's where you get the most X's, right? That's a number. So where I would start kind of like accumulating here would probably be this 80. If it doesn't come down to 80, I'm not bidding. It's just, I know I still could get like 4, 5X's. And if you guys, would like to get like a 3 to 4X, I still think the coin still gets that 3 to 4X from this 100K here. It could probably even go even higher than that. It just depends on how bullish the people are behind this coin. But I want to get an entry below 100. Okay, that's my main thing. So if I'm looking to accumulate, I'll probably start accumulating here around this 80 range. I think that's going to be like the most beautiful entry here. Maybe it gives me like that 90 mil to 80 mil entry. I'll get in there. And then I will still have a little bit of position in case we come down and touch that 70 range. I'll add a little bit more. And if we get into this 50, I'll even add even more. I'll go like crazy, right? But I still think this is a really good coin to keep an eye on. Even from that 100, I'm still saying it'll give you a nice 2 to 3 to 4x. So if you enter with size, I think this has a really good upside, and that's cards. Okay, moving on is to the next one. This is kind of like a very interesting one. It is called 67. I honestly, being fully transparent, I actually bought this coin down here. Okay, I still have a pretty good amount of size of positioning here on this coin. And I'm planning on adding more because I just want to. I want a better end. I don't want a better entry, but I just want more supply. In addition to that, I do want to let you guys know everything I'm telling you guys right now. Not financial advice, guys. This is just what I'm doing to trade, so make sure you guys keep that in mind. But let's talk about this coin. I think this coin, okay, I think this coin in particular has a massive potential, massive potential. And we've been talking about this coin for quite a while now. There's been a little bit of FUD, a little bit of like, oh, this should be on pump, this should be here, this should be there, yada, wooty woo. I still think you always go with the one with the volume, the one with the highest market cap. If someone copies it on pump, I mean, I don't know, man. I just think we should just go with the one that's running, all right? So with that being said, let's take a look at this one. What are we looking at? I'm looking for an entry at 10 mil. I'm looking for an entry for 10 mil. I hope it comes down to that 10 mil range. Somewhere like between that 12 and 8 mil. That's where I want to accumulate. I want to accumulate in here in this Boltz pocket. I think that's like the ideal accumulation range. If it comes down to this part, I am adding, I think, particularly this coin. Okay, this particular coin, it would be extremely, extremely foolish for the bunk team not to kind of start pushing this coin. Look, this is like, think of it like this way, right? This is like our chill guy of bunk. Basically, that's the way I would put it. And if you're not in 67 and you don't know what 67 is, come on, guys. You got to get with the program. Let's get to it, man. One thing I do want to let them know is just please change the banner. Come on. We got to update the banner. We got to make it memeable, right? We got to kind of represent what the meme is actually about. So I'm looking to accumulate here at 8 to 10 mil, getting a little bit more supply here. Just because I sold already and I just want to get a little bit more supply. But this is very, very bullish on this coin. If we come down to 10, I'm adding. If we come down to 8, I'm adding. If we were to come down here, which I highly doubt, okay? But still a possibility. You never know how the market changes and everything could just go crazy. I'm still adding more. I still think the coin has a lot of potential. Expect a lot of TikTok, YouTube kind of talking over this coin. So 67, it hit 17. This is where you want to see that correction here to 10 mil. Possibly 8 mil. I'm going to add a little bit there and then keep moving with it, right? The next one we have, guys, and this is actually calling this right here because this is hitting our line, literally hitting our line, okay? So this is the moment of truth for this coin. This is mask heavily, it's one of those coins that's been pushed by pump, and still very, kind of, you see still a lot of people with the PFP rocking the mask. So the community is still pretty bullish on this. So I think we see a nice little run. Okay, it's had multiple runs. It's gone all the way to 30. It tried to hit that 18 again. Now we're looking at the 6 mil range. Potentially we get a push to 12 mil again, getting that nice 2x. I think this coin's going to be fluctuating back and forth. So this entry is ideal here at 6 mil. Potentially we see it come down to 4, which we don't want it to come down to 4. Okay, we don't want it to come down to 4. But this is where you kind of figure it out. So what I would do is I would get a position here at 6 mil, see what the coin does, see if it goes up, if it goes down, if it goes up, and it gives me a nice 2 to 3x. I'm happy with that. I'm banking it. If it does come down though, because it could break this resistance of the 6 mil and come down to 4. I'm going to add a little bit more because I do think from, if we bought here at 6 and we bought here for our average, is going to be like around 5 mil. I still think you still get a 2x to a 3x from that 5 mil, right? So that's kind of like the way you want to play it. But I still think this has another little leg, right? It has another little leg, and I think it does pretty good. The other one we're going to be talking about, guys, is Spark. I've been calling this coin over and over, guys. Pick a Spark, pick a Spark. We got a beautiful entry here at this 12 mil range right here. Beautiful. I don't think we see it again. I don't think we see the 12 mil again, but there's still a possibility we come down here to 11 mil and we get a bounce back. So you guys see here, it's been consolidating at this 23 mil. So from all these times I've been telling you guys to buy this coin, you're going to notice nice little 2x over and over and over. We got even a 3x on this spike over and over and over again. I do think it tests all-time high pretty soon. Ideally, you don't want to see it come down from this 23, but I do want to give you guys the heads up. If it does come down from this 23 and we touch this 15, which we touched again here, as you guys see here, we do see another potential 2x here, okay? So you want to keep that in mind. Spark is one that you want to keep an eye on just because it is a very good coin, and as long as the dev keeps deving, it should do pretty good. The next coin we're going to be mentioning is Startup. Now, this particular coin, hadn't mentioned it for quite a while now. The first time I mentioned this coin is actually when it first launched. We talked about this coin. We talked about this possibility of this 4 mil to nice potential 10x that it gave you here. We're looking like it's consolidating a little bit. I think the Believe ecosystem is getting started to announce something this week. So I do think we see a nice little spike here of a potential 2 to 3x. Ideally, this is at 11 mil. The entry for this one, I think, would be perfect for anybody, guys, is to try to get here at 7. I don't know if it comes down to 7, though. It's just one that you want to keep an eye on. We'll put it up on the alerts on the Discord server so you guys can know if it does come down this low. If it does come down this low, then that is the time where you guys got to figure out and be like, okay, you know what? We are going to kind of, get into the idea of this having a potential run in this coming week or couple days or couple weeks out. So one that I would start accumulating here at the 7 range. I think it's a nice accumulation range. I hope it comes down to 7 so you guys could accumulate. If it doesn't come down to 7, you might want to see what it does here at this 21 mil. And if it bounces back down and kind of accumulate there, because I think from 7, you could still see a nice 3x to 21, potentially test all-time high. So very interesting coin to keep a track on. So startup would be the one to kind of keep an eye on. The next one we're going to mention is Pcule, and this one already ran up from our first initial call that we gave it to you guys at 2 mil, 3 mil range. From this initial golden pocket that we gave you guys, you're looking here at, it's about to hit 12. So let's say, you got in like at 3 mil. It's still potentially here, guys, potentially giving you almost a 5x once it hits 15, which is looking like it's prime here. What I want to do here is this is just kind of give you guys a warning. Yo, listen, guys, pay attention. If you didn't buy it when I first mentioned Pcule, which should be up like a 5x, I would say you kind of go back and reassess what it does here at this 15 mil range. This is where you gotta kind of lock in and kind of figure out exactly what's going on. You got to lock in here and just look at the chart, because I wanted to go to 15 and bounce back down. That is what I'm looking for to give us a better entry. Or ideally, it hit 12 and it comes back here to the 7 mil range or the 6 mil range. I'm going to mark these two because I already gave you the first initial call. If you didn't take advantage of the first one, then I kind of want to give you an idea of what we could look for in the second dip here, which would be the 7 to 5 mil range. If it comes back down to this nice, beautiful pocket here, I do expect we bounce and test new all-time high. If it does break here, it'll break the all-time high and kind of go to like 24, 25. But if it doesn't, and if it bounces back down, I think Pcule gives us a nice little entry here at 7 mil to 5 mil range, and potentially giving us a nice 3 to 4x here off this bounce. So Pcule is one that you're going to keep an eye on. We're going to put it up on the alert so you guys can keep an eye on that and see what's going on with that. The next one we're looking at is Trencher. You guys know big adamant and Trencher. I actually gave you this coin at 35K. If you guys were watching live on stream, if you were on my Discord on TG, you guys know I gave you this coin. I'm expecting this one to get us a nice bounce. It's giving us multiple bounces from these golden pockets here. So if you've been watching the videos, you've been following the Discord, you guys know we've been telling you guys, look, 2 mil here. Gave us to 6 mil, give us all the way to 10. It came back down here. It's been trying to go back up. It hasn't really kind of had a nice big catalyst. But I do want to see if it comes back here to 3 mil. This is where I'll start adding, because I kind of want to get in here at this 3 mil range or this 2 mil range, because I still think potentially we get this one to try to break all-time high once again. But you want to get the perfect entry. Like right now it's at 3.5. It's not a bad entry. It's not a bad entry. But my best entry would be 3 mil. I want it if it comes down to 3 mil, that's where I'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna add a little bit more to the position, because I do expect it to get a nice bounce. Easy 2x very quickly, because this one tends to bounce like whenever it kind of has this like big correction, it tends to bounce a little bit nicely there. So that is one that I would keep an eye on. Trencher. You guys have been trading this one pretty crazy. The next one we're looking at, because it is within my golden pocket already, is Cory. There's another bunk coin. It's kind of like I don't want to say the official dog in bunk, but it's the official viral dog. Not the official, but the main viral dog currently right now within the bunk system. They don't have another one that's super viral, except for, I believe it was not Bucky, but Monkey, the one, the guy, the little dog that paints. It's just like I feel like the Cory community is super bullish, super strong. So this is what I would look for here. This entry is not bad, 14 mil, but I always like those beautiful entries. So if it comes down to 12, I'm going to bring this one up and down here. If it comes down to 12, that's where I'm kind of like, okay, you know what? Now maybe is the time to position myself here, because I do think Cory has another little leg here up, at least a 2x on Cory. Okay, at least a 2x on Cory from that 12 mil entry here. So that's kind of where I'm looking at, but I want to make sure I pay close attention, because if it drops below that 12 mil range and it comes back down to 4, it's kind of like almost game over on this one. So this is one that you want to be closely paying attention to. Okay. The next one is Chill House. Is literally just like kind of just a little bit ago, it hit my main line. Is like, yo, pay attention, bro. It's at 8. So look, multiple things you want to notice here. Hit 8, came back to 20. Hit 8, came back to 20. Hit 8, came back to 20. So you guys see the pattern here. It looks pretty crazy. So it would be kind of foolish not to buy this, because if it goes back to 20, that's another 2x and a half, right? So eventually, I think this coin's going to break the all-time high. It's one of the coolest memes there. It's a combination between a popular meme, House Coin, and Chill. It's kind of like a retardio type of concept. So if it comes down to 8 mil, it's like, why shouldn't I bid? This is going to go back up to another 20, giving me a nice little 2x. And if it's that time to ride and it's like, yo, okay, well, this time it's actually going to break all-time high, then we're looking like a 3 to 4x here on Chill House. So really, really bullish on this one. So we'll see what's up. All right. The next one we have is Clippy. And this is basically like just hit my line right now. It's like, yo, buy time. So this is what we're looking at right here. I don't think we see this, you know, we this is like where I called it the first time, but right now it's literally in the buy zone, okay? So as you see where it kind of came down to the buy zone, it kind of ran up to a 2x here from this 4 to 8, 10x here. We're back in that 3 mil range. All-time high for this one is 30, so still possible. If this breaks all-time high, a nice clean 10x from here, okay? Nice clean 10x right here. It's super, super bullish in the sense of this is a beautiful entry. It's a beautiful entry. The only thing that could go bad here is if it breaks this, it's pretty much over. And if it doesn't break it and it goes back up, we're looking at a nice clean, 4 to 5x here on Clippy. So it would be kind of foolish not to bid on this one. The next one we have, guys, this is going to be like my gamble play of the night. And this is Kirby. This is on I believe this one's on Bunk as well. And the reason I like Kirby is because the community has been super bullish. They still haven't, they haven't stopped hustling. It has a very small community of 2,000 holders, but they're just bull pulsing. And right now, I think it's like at that point where it's like, it's silly not to bid. It's at 400K. Okay. 400K. Does it go back to 800? Possibly, man. Possibly. It's like one of those coins, like, it doesn't hurt to throw some dust in there, right? Like, you never know. So we're going to be calling this right here, guys. I think right here, potential is 500K. Good entry, but I still think it might correct down and back to 4 again. But still 500K, I can throw some dust in there, bro. If we go up like to 1.5, that's a nice clean 3x, right? That's what we like to see. We just like to be building our bag and just keep moving forward. So those are the coins that I would recommend currently right now. There are some that are a little bit higher market cap that are going to keep going up, but it's just, you just got to enter with a little bit more size. I gave you some that are kind of like in the mid range where you could enter with a little bit, and then some that are a little bit more riskier where you have that potential of getting a higher return, but just a little bit more riskier. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that mix. If you did, do make it easy for every guys. Drop a comment, drop a like, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel. And then I want to know, which one did you end up picking up? Because I gave you 11. Which one out of the 11 did you pick up? Let me know. If you want pure alpha like every single day, make sure you guys check out our Discord link down below. And I will see you guys on Tuesday and Thursday live. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.